All right.
So we going to R. Kelly?
Yeah, R. Kelly.
All right, welcome back, part 2. So continuing our Hollywood Insider segment, R. Kelly back in the news once again.
Good Lord.
Well, I'll say back in the news. He's been in the news for some months now.
Here, right here. He was acquitted of child pornography charges in 2008 after prosecutors alleged he filmed himself having sex with a girl they believed to be 13 at the time. So I don't know if you guys recall, but Boondocks definitely did this whole thing justice.
Dave Chappelle peed on a girl in his in one of his skits.
So how do you make it real people?
He's been a clown to like the black community for a while now since those allegations came out.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the end of some stars' careers, R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, towards the end, it was okay to clown on. I remember when before Michael Jackson died, everybody was joking about Michael Jackson. I ain't letting my kids spend the night at his house and shit, you know what I mean?
I don't know.
And when he died, he's obviously one of the greatest pop stars of all time. Who doesn't love Michael Jackson songs? Black, white, Chinese, Hispanic, anytime Beat It comes on, people know the words,
Yeah.
So is R. Kelly going to be held in that same kind of stratus?
I think
as far
he needs
as all
to
this?
die. I mean, not. I'm not saying R. Kelly needs to die. I'm just saying, like,
to reach that level of, yeah, in our mind. But he'll never be as up there with Michael Jackson. But yeah, that's what you're saying.
He did do Step in the Name of Love, though.
Mm-hmm.
I know all the words for that.
Step in the name of love. I mean, come on, man. People play that on weddings, cabarets, the Christmas parties. Anytime you want an electric slide, who doesn't know that? That's R. Kelly.
That's right.
So with him, like you said, being acquitted, this article
back in 2008.
He's back in trouble, and with the law. Says sources connected to R. Kelly said the singer could be, and this article is dated as of today, said he could be in jail up till Tuesday, worst case scenario Wednesday. He's locked up because he owes back child support.
What?
That's what the thing says.
What?
We're told R. Kelly's lawyers plan on heading to the Child Support Bureau on Monday to figure out exactly how much their client owes in back pay.
Hold up. I gotta run this back because I thought he was in jail for a whole nother thing. This is February 22nd. R. Kelly in jail with 10 counts of aggravated sexual abuse. What the hell? So he's in jail for 2 things right now. Turns out.
So the 2 girls they had in the courtroom, Jocelyn Savage, Azriel Clary, they were both in the courtroom for R. Kelly, reportedly sitting in the first row, reserved for family and friends. The women are allegedly the singer's sex slaves, but both have denied that. They were seen holding hands entering the court. So 2 nice-looking women, and I guess that's where these allegations of him being a sexual assaulter come from, is that he had a sex camp. I didn't see Surviving R. Kelly.
So I think this is where this is coming from.
Right.
Surviving R. Kelly. So Surviving R. Kelly is, because you guys probably already know, but Surviving R. Kelly was a TV series that came out, I think it was on Lifetime.
The hotness died down off of R. Kelly prior to this Surviving R. Kelly coming out. Like, it was in the back of everybody's mind, but it kind of started to fade out. Then they came out with Surviving R. Kelly. Next thing you know, he's back in court.
Boom. Like it blew up everything all over him because they went in depth. They did some, I don't know if you can call it journalism or they did some TV series investigation, but they went in, they got video, they got testimony, they got all of this stuff for the show. And apparently it was enough to where investigators started looking into this. And so here he is now, 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse following accusations of sexual misconduct against younger women, I guess, underage women, it seems like.
So they have a timeline breakdown here, and I guess this is Friday. No, they don't give dates. So I think Friday evening, 7:30 p.m., R. Kelly reportedly failed to post a $100,000 bond by the cutoff time of 9 o'clock p.m. in Chicago, so he'll have to spend the night in jail. 2:10 p.m., we're told R. Kelly makes bail. He's being held in a holding pen by himself because the jail doesn't want him interacting with other inmates for safety reasons. Obviously, somebody would kill R. Kelly if they knew that he was accused of. I heard one big thing in jail is don't touch kids underage.
Yeah.
Girls, don't
Makes
be
you
a
a target.
rapist.
Like every pedophile they've ever had they've ever caught, I believe they have to put them in solitary confinement, or they have to keep them away from general population,
Right.
because
He's a high
they
profile figure.
are a target. People know what they did, and they are, people don't like when you mess with little kids. I mean, for good reason, damn it.
Okay, so Cook County District Attorney Kim Fox just gave more details of the alleged sex crimes to the press outside the courtroom, obviously after the hearing, and says that 2 to 4 of the alleged victims turned in physical evidence, shirts with R. Kelly's Siemens on the shirts.
Siemens?
That's crazy. Who else did they get with semen on that? Wasn't it Bill Clinton?
Yeah.
Did Monica Lewinsky say the semen on her sweater or something like that?
Yeah, they confiscated her dress.
Now, that's just devious. The
semen.
girl should be in trouble for that. These 2 to 4 victims should be in trouble. Because you planned this shit, goddamn. You knew you was holding on to that shirt. How many years ago was this? You know what I mean? He busted that 8 years ago. You still got the shirt? You still
What
got
you
that
saying? You
evidence?
never watched it?
Right. So you knew you was going to get R. Kelly. I can't wait.
She was like, I'm just gonna
I'm
save
just waiting
this.
for the right time. You know what I mean?
Save this.
Wow. So I'm trying to scan through this article. Again, this is according to TMZ, where it says anything about the child support, but it says it at the beginning of the article.
Man, I don't care about child support. Like, here's the
Then
thing.
you get locked
R.
up on
Kelly.
that shit.
R. Kelly sexually assaulted underage women a number of times.
Now, see, I think the problem is they're trying to.
The issue is making it stick.
There's a couple of girls who claim that they were sexually assaulted. There's also other girls who claim that they are not assaulted. Hence, the 2 girlfriends that were sitting in the class, the courtroom with them, in the front seat reserved for family and friends. And what's the girl's name? I forget. Got to scroll back through the article.
But what are their ages?
So I
That's
think-
what matters, right?
It does, but I
That's
think-
the issue. How old are these girls?
How old were they when these things happened?
How old were they when
How much
they
time has
left?
passed
When they started
since-
with him?
Since these sexual assaults could have taken place? I think you got to factor all that in. And plus, with these girls coming out and saying that they were not sexually assaulted, I think that adds enough reasonable doubt that they don't exactly know enough. There's enough reasonable doubt there for them not to be sure whether he actually assaulted these girls or not. You know, they could just be saying it because some other girls were in the same situation, saying that he didn't sexually assault them, that they were there by choice. And I don't know, it's all great, man. It's all mixed up. Like, it's like a Bill Cosby thing, man. It's like, I guess people care, right? We're talking about it, so we care. Now, R. Kelly was one of the great music stars of our youth. I mean, we are hearing R. Kelly all over the place. You know,
through high school.
Jay-Z did
Middle
songs with R.
school,
Kelly.
high
Didn't
school,
Jay-Z and R.
college.
Kelly come out with an album together? I think I have that joint somewhere.
Probably, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah, they came on, wasn't it Jay-Z and R. Kelly album? They came on like 8 or 9 tracks together.
That's just crazy,
Right.
dude.
So, I mean, everybody's working with R. Kelly.
But here's the thing, though, because, man, like, it's crazy to see this, because everybody hates seeing their fave celebrity OGs like go down like this, man. But like, you gotta have standards, man. Like when they start effing up, when you start messing around with young kids and underage, like we have a statutory rape charges for a reason, because these young kids aren't able to make the full extent of they're not able to make complete decisions yet to where they should be held accountable for that in the future, right?
Right.
And when it comes to an older person with money and influence and power who's telling them to do certain things, like how much, especially in this case, man, like how much can we just let that slide, you know? Because these girls, they become victims in that way, because in a way it's almost like mind control, man. You can get these kids to do anything just because of who you are, what you have, and all these other things go with that.
Look
you
at
know?
like religious institutions, even
right.
institutions of higher learning, even sports and athletics.
It's
you
kind
get
of
them
a
while they're
cultish
young.
mentality, right?
You get them while they're young,
Mm-hmm.
and they can be taught to believe anything. You know. So
man, what was it?
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a Friday night. R. Kelly surrendered himself to police in Chicago. So after
Why
being
didn't
charged
he pay
with
bail?
sexual abuse of 4 girls, at least 3 of whom were minors. So that's where the minor thing come in.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So they said the bail is set at. R. Kelly's lawyer reported that the singer's finances are a mess, so he can't bond out just yet. His bail is set at $250,000 for each indictment. So I guess $1 million.
Jesus. For each indictment?
Let me see. Let me back this up.
And you know the funny thing? Oh, well, not funny, but so he was dropped by his label. So he's
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
yeah. They dropped him after the Survivor R. Kelly thing
This
came
is
out.
about.
They dropped him. So I don't know if he's bringing in any more money or how that works with his finances.
This
But
is
that might
about
be why
as
it's in a mess
negative
right now.
of press that you can ever get, especially in a public relations company like the music industry,
Yeah.
where your livelihoods depend on who's buying your content. Man, yeah, I'm damn sure he was dropped. Excuse
But
me.
here's the thing: it took him so long to do it because not like they dropped him off the first allegation or the second.
2008. Yeah,
Like they dropped him 15 years.
Surprised anybody. Yeah, surprised anybody would have picked him up, even if his label back then dropped him. All right, so let me back this up. R. Kelly just appeared before the judge, who set his bail at $1 million, meaning the singer can be released, but only if he can afford it. Prosecutors laid out the details of R. Kelly's 4 separate indictments Saturday at the Layton Criminal Court building in Cook County, and requested the R&B singer not be granted bail. But the judge disagreed and set bail at $250,000 for each indictment. The judge also ordered R. Kelly to surrender his passport. Yeah, they can get you for that passport, man. You ain't leaving the country. You owe us money. And isn't it funny how, like, you can commit these heinous crimes, be accused of it, go to jail, whatever, but if you can pay this money, we let you out. You know what I mean? It's a business, so
Which is,
you can afford it.
So it's a bad standard. It's a bad thing to have.
I mean, you
I
still
don't
have
say
your
believe in
legal
the whole bail
troubles, but
system, man.
we're not going to hold you in jail if you can pay the money to get out of it. You know what I mean?
I know a lot of people are talking against that right now. But yeah, it's crazy that that's how it worked for so many years. Like if you got enough money, you can get out. Like with Roger Stone, he paid like $1 million or like something like $100,000. It's a huge amount of money to get out for his what looks like treason stuff he's done.
Right.
So just because you have that money, you can get out. But if it was a normal job, right? Well, first, I don't know if he'd be in that level of trouble, but even if he was. Like you're not getting out. You're not getting out for a drug possession charge, right?
Yep. They'll
right?
lock you up for having weed on you to use yourself.
$5,000.
Right.
Who's got $5,000 even around? How
So
you gonna get out?
right. I was like, it's like the more money you have, it's like when they get a high profile person that has a post bail, they're like, now we can cash in, right? Like I can set this bail at $100,000, not some perp who on the street.
Terrible
I
incentive.
give him $5,000 bail, and he can't pose. I'm like, well, shit, we will only have $5,000 anyway.
Yeah.
Prosecutors hit R. Kelly with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse Friday morning, and 9 of the 10 counts involve alleged victims ranging in age from 13 to 16. There are 4 alleged victims in total, and according to the criminal complaint, the graphic allegations include oral and vaginal sex with the girl between the ages of 13 and 17. This article is confusing. So it says 9 of the 10 counts. So each victim is not one count.
No.
So they can have 4
offense
victims. Okay, so they can have like
Yeah.
giving alcohol to an underage minor. That's
Right.
a count, and then having sex with
Each
it.
violation is its own count.
Right. Well, goddamn, R. Kelly. And it's like a person like R. Kelly. Do you need to do underage girls though, man? Like I never get that whole pedophilia thing, man. It's just like Jesus Christ, man. Like if you're gonna drug somebody, right, and get in trouble with the law for it, at least don't get in trouble for doing 13-year-old girls. You know what I mean?
I'm like gonna say you go drug somebody, man. Drug a grown up.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna drug them like that. I mean, you already gonna get in trouble for drugging them, right?
Like Bill Cosby, man.
You already gonna get in trouble. So like, don't drug a 13-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like Jesus, man. Like, hey,
Don't drug people.
hey, how about you just not drug
Let's
people
just not drug
in general?
people.
Right.
This is weird.
You shoot them with darts and shit. All right. So also you gonna roll up the Robert Kraft thing in this joint too? Just just off the top. So Robert Kraft,
I don't have anything up on it for that one, but good.
owner of the New England Patriots, is accused of being caught in accused of soliciting sex, police say. So, it's kind of relevant. The world of Hollywood feeling entitled, like you can do what you want sexually because you have the bravado, the status, the cachet, the money to do it, like a R. Kelly, like a Robert Kraft of the New England Patriots. Robert Kraft is facing charges of soliciting prostitution. Owner of the New England Patriots, who won the Super Bowl less than a month ago.
Just won the Super Bowl. Did you see the game?
6th Super Bowl. Yeah. I watched that with a couple of the homies.
Yeah.
It was a boring game. I'm like, man.
Game, man.
I was thinking about that. I was like, man, if Juice and them was watching this game, they at least could have watched a more entertaining game than this.
We were watching it. That joint was boring as shit.
That joint was boring than a mug, man.
Even at halftime, I was like, oh, that's okay.
And what's so funny about this story
Who's Travis Scott?
Sorry. Like, Robert Kraft is like, his team has been accused of cheating in the past because they videotaped defensive coaches' signals on the other team. So the coaches will throw hand signals to the players on the field so that they know which play to run. So the Patriots a couple years ago were videotaping the signals to match them up with what plays they were running at the time, so they could have a competitive advantage during the game. So you're not supposed to do that, obviously. So they got caught up for that. Robert Kraft defended them. This is the most honest coaching staff, and and they keep winning.
Probably because I did.
So then Tom Brady got caught up a couple years after that for, it's called Deflategate.
Yeah, the deflation thing.
So he was taking air out of the balls, making it easier for the players on his team to catch it, easier for them to grasp the football with less air in it. There's supposed to be a regulation amount of air. Robert Kraft defended them. Oh, this is the most stand-up organization, blah, blah, blah. So they just won their 6th Super Bowl. Congratulations to the players, because people always laud and.
What was the whole thing about the Saints game that people were saying it was they got cheated out?
Oh, that was crazy. That was the Rams. That was a bad call by the referee.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a bad call by the referee. The player got hit early. He was supposed to throw a flag about roughing the player or pass interference, and it was an obvious call. He didn't make the call, so the Saints missed the Super Bowl. It's supposed to be the Saints in the Super Bowl instead of the Rams.
Mm.
So people were mad because they were like, the Saints probably could have beat the Patriots.
Because I was in New Orleans the weekend that happened.
No.
People were livid, man.
But should have been. That was a bad call.
People I didn't even know. I wasn't talking to. They just got cheated at the game. I was like,
dude, that was a bad call, man. People get fired for stuff like that. They lose, and then next thing you know, they're changing coaching staffs. Players get cut. They got to move their families, Whereas if you win, maybe the organization stays a little more stable. People hold their jobs for them. But Robert Kraft, defending all this stuff happening with the Patriots, he gets caught up for soliciting prostitution as part of a large-scale sex trafficking crackdown that has led to hundreds of arrest warrants in Florida. Wow, Robert Kraft. This article is from CNN, dated Saturday, February 23rd, 4:10 a.m. So, man, this just happened yesterday. It's crazy. The 77-year-old billionaire is among more than 100 people linked to several Central Florida day spas and massage parlors suspected of being used for prostitution and targeted by law enforcement during a month-long investigation. Nothing surprising about that, right? It's a massage parlor and day spa, right? I would think they would probably do like happy endings and stuff like that at the end, or some of the girls would solicit, try to solicit themselves with sex. Like, it's crazy. I mean, I heard something like when they shut down Backpage.
So they're saying that he was the owner, or he was just
visiting the day spa, but he solicited one of the girls, asking one of the girls for a sexual favor. And they also say they have a video footage shows him receiving paid acts in a room at the spa, and surveillance video shows him being driven to the spa. So they know he was there. I guess maybe the video might be, I haven't seen the video, maybe it's kind of grainy.
I'm sure it's HD.
Chris just said he's outside. I don't know if you want to pause it on that.
Yeah, we'll pause. Well, hold on. But
it's funny because this dude, of course he does stuff like this. He is a privileged white male, okay? He's a 77-year-old billionaire. But first of all, it's like, Robert, there's rules to the game, baby. Bring the hose to you. You know what I mean? What you doing going out to the spa? You can't get
they got surveillance.
You can't get a private masseuse to come to your home. You know what I mean?
That's the game was run, man. Like,
right,
why do you think they were in business? Because they got surveillance on all you rich families.
Look, even R. Kelly got that part right. He had a whole compound.
You know what happened? You know what happened? Here's what happened. He did this. They sent him a link. They were like, we have this on video. We know you did this. Pay up. And he was like, nah.
It definitely goes in the same article that he denies it. He denied allegations that he solicited sex from somebody in his day spa.
And then they were like, all right, so we're going to release the video.
Okay.
Send that joint right over to
TMZ?
TMZ, whatever.
When did TMZ become a valid, media site? It's crazy because they were always just like a little. I know we talked about this on the cast before. They were always just
They're like outsourced. That's
Right.
all it is. Because they'll just be like, hey, if you have a camera, you can be a reporter.
They'll
You
get-
can be a reporter for TMZ.
They'll get anybody, athletes, celebrities, politicians. I mean, anybody. They'll get people that work for the company that you work for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, that's how they did it, man. And then boom, here we go. But you know what? I'm gonna make a prediction that this may stick, but it won't matter.
No.
He's that rich.
Oh yeah, come on, man. He's buying it like
If
they
you
were
own a
saying.
football team, you're the guy who's that rich.
They were saying if you own a sports franchise, period, you have to be a billionaire because the sports team is worth over $1 billion.
Yep.
He's a billionaire. Like he can buy the legal system. They're not gonna.
Like
There's
this
no
is
way-
not gonna be talked about next week.
No way Robert Kraft faces jail time at all for this.
Not even almost.
They were talking about should the league fine him because sometimes the damn, call me. Why are you calling me? Call dude. Maybe he tried to call you.
Don't call me.
They haven't said he has the door.
All right, tell him. Hold on. We can wrap this up. All right. So yeah, like this is the last we're gonna hear about this. This is gonna be something that's gonna be swept under the rug.
Swept under the rug.
Like we're not gonna hear about this next week. That's gonna be the end of this conversation.
They were saying should the owners do something to fine him because they have a public image that they have to uphold because they're the NFL, the sports team. You're based off your sales and your marketing and how people perceive your team.
Then maybe.
Which is why the Redskins have been losing money lately because the one, they don't win on the field. Two, the allegations of them having a racist name, not allegations, but them having a racist name and all that bad press that goes along with that. So they've had less people attending games. A lot of that has to do with winning too, because
They're
when you
losing.
win, people will forgive a lot of shit. They'll forgive.
You know what? I bet they'll win more if they change their name.
I don't know, man. I don't know what they need to do. It's been like 30 years
I
since
know.
we've had a win, since we've been a good organization. But anyway, so they were saying should the league crack down because there's 32 separate teams, but the NFL oversees these teams. So the league has a committee, disciplinary committee, for the players. If the players do something wrong, if they hit a girl out in public, they'll get together. Should we suspend this guy? Yep, give him 8 games. And then the team itself can do something to him. But usually that comes from the owners and management down. So obviously his team's not going to do anything to him. He's the owner.
No.
So should the NFL committee get together and say, hey, we got to fine this guy? No, they're not going to do that. He's one of the owners.
Well, here's the thing.
Those
If-
people
if
those people that work for the
they
NFL
might.
work for him. He's a owner. He owns a share of the NFL.
But they
being an
might
owner of the
find
team.
him. Like they might find him.
They might.
They might. And you know what? It'll be a fine, and it's going to be ain't nothing but change out of his pocket, and he might pay it, and that'll be the end of it, because this isn't going to be a legal situation.
There was a no, at all.
Like,
And
he's
you
about-
see, it was a crackdown, so they got hundreds of other people.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, he just happened to be caught up in it.
Right.
But he's
But come on, baby, you know the game. Bring the masseuse to you. There was an owner of the Colts a couple years ago who got pulled over speeding. He was high off like prescription pills, had a whole bunch of prescription pills in the car with him. Named Jim Irsay, owner of the Colts. I think he was drunk. All that, got pulled over, arrested. No fine. You never hear nothing about it. He's rich. He's the owner of the team. That you're never gonna like. You hear all this mess about R. Kelly.
two-tier justice system, right? And the only thing with R. Kelly, he look, if the pedophilia thing, that might be the only thing that's solid enough to stick somebody.
And
Right.
and he is a black man,
And he's a black man.
which I don't want to play the racist card solely, but when you
And his money's running out.
to think that another reason I thought this was relevant with the R. Kelly article is like to think that Robert Kraft is the only person who does something like this as far as prostitution, soliciting prostitution, young women, young girls. Men do it all over the place. It's not just R. Kelly. I'm not saying Robert Kraft specifically has done it, but people in those upper echelons of society, once you reach a certain level, you think you can do anything. You know what I mean?
And here's the thing.
You
I
think you
think
can
there's
do
a
anything.
legitimate discussion to be had whether or not prostitution should
be
even
legal.
be illegal.
Right. That's a valid question.
I mean,
That's a valid question.
it's a whole nother discussion. We'll address that later. But
I think we should address that one of these topics for the next cast. But yeah. So guess that's all we gotta say about Robert Kraft. Damn, Robert, learn the game, baby. Come on now.
Man, you know better than this.
Like when they said he got caught up, I was like, okay, maybe he got in a sting. Maybe the girl got in the car, and the girl ended up being undercover. No, he was in a day spa, and they said sexual acts. So I guess he didn't have intercourse with us. They probably just gave him a hand job or something like that.
Yeah, she might have got some head, you know.
Guys do that all the time.
And as we learned from Andre 3000, you know, head ain't cheating.
And honestly, and honestly, like you said, should it even be illegal? That if she decided to give him a hand job or even head, that is something between him and her. It's almost the same as a massage. And you know where the real illegal part comes from is the fact that it can't be taxed. You know, like look at the weed industry now. You know,
Yeah.
how they can, you know, how much money is being made off of that. If they could find a way to tax prostitution, they might think about making it illegal. When I can make a contract between me and this female and it says, hey, I will pay you X amount of money for this service that you give me, same as a massage.
Dude,
massage my shoulders,
just put them jokes on the invoice, yo.
Right.
You know, like blow job, hand job, Freaky Friday, whatever. You know, and then you name whatever acts it is, put that on the invoice at the bottom.
Untaxable cash.
Right. Boom.
I think that's where the real
Invoice.
problem lies, in them not legalizing it. There's no way to tax it, man.
I think it's something to do with our hyper Christian value country, but
True.
of our country. But you know, anyway.
True.
So, all right, guys.
All right, guess that's gonna wrap up section 2.
You.